The Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, was officially established on May 26, 1948, following the creation of the State of Israel. However, its roots lie in various Jewish paramilitary and terrorist organizations that operated during the British Mandate for Palestine from 1920 to 1948. These groups played a crucial role in laying the groundwork for the IDF, but were also involved in actions of terrorism, particularly against British authorities and Arab communities. Here's an overview of the pre-1948 origins and activities. Formation of pre-state Jewish militias. Haganah, established in 1920. The purpose of the Haganah was to serve as a defense force to protect Jewish settlements from attacks by local Arab populations. It operated under the Zionist leadership and even cooperated with the British authorities during World War II. The Haganah became the backbone of the IDF when Israel declared independence. Irgun, formed in 1931. This group was a splinter faction created by more militant members of the Haganah who advocated for offensive actions against Arab and British targets. The Irgun carried out bombings, assassinations, and attacks, including the King David Hotel bombing in 1946, which killed 91 people, including British officials, Arabs, and Jews. This attack aimed to force the British to leave Palestine. Lehi, also known as the Stern Gang, emerged in 1940 as a radical group. This smaller and more extreme faction broke away from the Irgun. It viewed British rule as the main obstacle to Jewish statehood, and even sought alliances with Axis powers during World War II. The Lehi carried out notorious acts, including the assassination of Lord Moyne, a British minister, in 1944. Major pre-1948 terrorist acts. The King David Hotel bombing in 1946 was perpetrated by the Irgun. The bombing targeted the British administrative headquarters and is considered one of the most significant attacks of the period. While warnings were reportedly issued, they were either ignored or not acted upon in time. Deir Yassin Massacre, April of 1948. Irgun and Lehi fighters attacked the Arab village of Deir Yassin. Over 100 Palestinian villagers were killed, including women and children. The attack contributed to the exodus of Palestinian Arabs during the 1948 war and remains a highly controversial event. Assassinations of British officials. Irgun and Lehi targeted British military and administrative personnel. Examples include the killing of police officers, bombings of British facilities, and ambushes. Bombing of British infrastructure. The Irgun and Lehi bombed trains, bridges, and oil pipelines, disrupting British operations and pressuring them to withdraw from Palestine. This is the list of Israeli massacres in Palestine. 1. Haifa Massacre, 1937. 2. Jerusalem Massacre, 1937. 3. Balad al-Sheikh Massacre, 1939. 4. Haifa Massacre, 1939. 5. Haifa Massacre, 1947. 6. Abbasiyah Massacre, 1947. 7. Al-Qisas Massacre, 1947. 8. Bab al-Amud Massacre, 1947. 9. Jerusalem Massacre, 1947. 10. Sheikh Burak Massacre, 1947. 11. Jaffa Massacre, 1948. 12. Deir Yassin Massacre, 1948. 13. Tantura Massacre, 1948. 14. Khan Yunis Massacre, 1956. 15. Jerusalem Massacre, 1967. 16. Baro al-Bakwar, 1972. 17. Sabra and Shatila Massacre, 1982. 18. Al-Aqsa Mosque Massacre, 1990. 19. Ibrahimi Mosque Massacre, 1994. 20. Jenin Refugee Camp, April 2002. 21. Gaza Massacre, 2008. 09. 22. Gaza Massacre, 2012. 23. Gaza Massacre, 2014. 24. Gaza Massacre, 2018 to 19. 25. Gaza Massacre, 2021. And now, the genocide of the 21st century, with only a few platforms like YouTube shedding light on these events. Transition to the IDF, 1948. After the declaration of Israeli independence, David Ben-Gurion dissolved all independent paramilitary groups, integrating them into the newly formed IDF. This move centralized military authority and sought to distance the state from the actions of groups like Irgun and Lehi. Notable challenge. The integration wasn't smooth, especially after the Altalena affair, where the IDF clashed with Irgun members over control of weapons. The legacy of pre-1948 activities. The actions of Jewish militias during the British Mandate are viewed through different lenses. Supporters argue these acts were part of the struggle for self-determination and necessary to achieve independence. Critics highlight the loss of innocent lives and the long-term implications for Israeli-Palestinian relations, framing some actions as terrorism. These pre-1948 events significantly influenced the formation, doctrine, and perception of the IDF, which became the formal military arm of the State of Israel. Israel did commit crimes to save itself. Iran, historically known as Persia, has given the world so many beautiful contributions, from the inspiration for the U.S. Constitution to the halo on top of Jesus' head. Cyrus the Great, a revered Persian king, freed the Jews, who lived as a slave in Babylon and brought the first human rights 2,500 years ago that European and United States learned from it. And for 2,700 years, Jews lived in Iran. The Jewish holy books even refer to Cyrus as a messiah. However, in 1981, the US and Israel allegedly tricked Saddam Hussein into attacking Iran. They promised him an oil-rich state, but when he invaded, they supplied arms and intelligence to both sides, ensuring the war dragged on for 8 years. Millions of Iranians were killed or injured, and the war inflicted trillions in damages. Meanwhile, arms dealers in Israel and the USA reportedly made more than $500 billion. This video is made by Majesty Az. From his mother's side, he hails from the last great royal family and heroes of Iran, who lived in a castle in the same area where Persian King Cyrus the Great once ruled. From his father's side, albeit not directly, he is connected to a hero of the Jews of Iran. In the 1930s, Jews took to the streets shouting "Long live" with Modaris. In 1981, the US and Israel allegedly tricked Saddam Hussein into attacking Iran, promising him an oil-rich state. When he invaded, they supplied arms and intelligence to both sides, ensuring the war lasted for 8 years. Millions of Iranians were killed or injured, and the war caused trillions in damages. Meanwhile, arms dealers in Israel and the USA reportedly profited more than $500 billion. His rich father lost everything. But Majesty Az, for 45 years in America, has been trying to heal his two sick nations. He believes history shows us that the Israel-Palestine land should be either one country or divided 50-50. Everyone should uphold human rights. Otherwise, what difference is there between us and animals? And remember, everybody can be a part-time hero.